So, Stanley, here you are. You were faced with an A-list superhero all by yourself. What did you do?
Tactically speaking, I think I performed a leap wildly at the enemy maneuver.
And tactically speaking, how did that turn out?
I'm going to go with not well. Not well at all.
Indeed. Why don't we review the footage? My, look at you. You got some height on that, Stanley.
I did, didn't I? Hell, if you pause it right there, it actually looks pretty badass. You could use that on henchman recruitment posters.
We don't have recruitment posters. We recruit based on data. But yes, if we did, it would look lovely. This, on the other hand... This wouldn't make the cut, I'm afraid.
Come on, it's not so bad.
Really? You think being tossed gracelessly through the air is a good look for you?
I mean, it's not like I got knocked out or anything.
That's true, you maintained consciousness. While you made an incalculably awful decision, your durability salvaged the situation.
Really?
Really? By simply keeping yourself from passing out, you managed to delay Shining Nova for that much longer. And as it turns out, Lord Bedlam needed every second to complete his mission. That's part of your value, Stanley. Based on your DNA samples, you don't have any predisposition towards superhuman abilities. Yet you seem to be able to endure more punishment than your colleagues.
Comes with experience, I guess. But out of curiosity, where exactly did you get those DNA samples?
That's a secret. But let's get back to Wednesday's operation. If you look at the footage right here, you'll notice something interesting about where you landed. What might that be?
I'm pretty close to a door, and the engineers that we took captive aren't far either.
Correct. Though you didn't realize that second bit so quickly at the time. In fact, you don't notice until this moment right here. And then what precisely did you do with this newly acquired knowledge?
I ran for the door.
And that seemed like the best option at the time.
It seemed like the only option, honestly.
Really? At no point, even after you noticed your proximity to those captives, did you consider a different approach? You didn't even for a moment think that perhaps you could use their presence to your advantage?
No, I didn't really think about that. I was kind of preoccupied by all the high-tech projectiles that could be fired at me. They were my most immediate concern, you know?
For being so focused on them, you did a rather poor job of getting out of their way.
Story of my life. My biography's gonna be called Stan. I couldn't get out of the way. It also didn't help that my thrusters weren't exactly at full capacity by that point.
Then it was quite the blunder, wasn't it? If you weren't feeling up to another round with Shining Nova, you should have found an alternative.
Like what? Nova didn't seem too receptive to small talk.
Like the hostages, Stanley. Why do you think I brought them up? Next time, take advantage of your surroundings. Hostages are a tool to be used, and an effective one. Understand this. You will be at a severe disadvantage against any foe you encounter. You must utilize every tool you can and show no mercy in order to succeed.
Use all the tools, hold the mercy. I'm on it, boss.
See that you are. It's for your own safety. We wouldn't want anything unfortunate happening to you out there, would we? And we certainly wouldn't want to demonstrate what happens to subordinates that fail to learn from their mistakes. Now then, I think we've seen enough of this, haven't we? So, Stanley, after reviewing the footage, would you say this is a normal operation for you?
No, definitely more exciting.
And after our review, would you say that you performed better or worse than your peers in this scenario?
Well, better, but
And how were you compensated for this operation compared to normal? How about compared to your peers? I'll answer for you. The same on both counts. But that's how it works, isn't it? You're paid a salary, and that doesn't change when things are harder or your performance is better. No, you can't earn more without a review, like this one, and they don't come often. But dear Stanley, what if I told you that you can?
you mean I, hench can?
Exactly. I admit, I wasn't entirely sold on the name until we focus tested it with a few slogans. But it really works, doesn't it?
I guess so? Where are you going with this?
I'm getting to that, Stanley. But first, why don't we turn this discussion inward? What drives you, Stanley?
What do you mean?
I mean that as a henchman for Lord Bedlam, who or what do you serve before all else?
That's pretty obvious, isn't it? Lord Bedlam pays the bills, so that means what he says goes.
My, it must be lovely for Lord Bedlam, having such absolute loyalty from his subordinates.
Well, loyalty. The word absolute is a little restrictive, isn't it?
But you just said you serve Lord Bedlam above all else, did you not?
I meant like in a professional sense. So within my job description. I think that's fair.
There. Repeat what you just said.
I think that's fair.
Right. You are doing what you think is fair. You.
Sorry, I don't think I follow.
Very well. I shall explain you to yourself. During your everyday tasks, you trend right inside the average by every available metric. You do not perform better or worse than any of your fellow henchmen. You are perfectly commonplace. But when you are personally at risk during operations, you are suddenly head and shoulders above the pack, despite having no powers or exceptional athletic background. In other words, Stanley, you are performing at the optimal level for your own self-interests. You have found exactly how to do your job and collect your paycheck with as little pain and effort as possible.
No, you've got that all mixed up. Look,
You're the one who has things mixed up. It's a good thing. Why should you try to perform any better when you have no incentive to do so? Should you throw yourself at superheroes based on the distant dream of a promotion? Of course not. No. You have learned that the optimal path forward within this system is to intentionally perform below your potential. So that's what you do. And make no mistake, you have potential, Stanley. All you need to bring it out is a system that rewards you appropriately. And this, Stanley, is what I have been getting at. Henchman is that system. With Henchman, you would be rewarded based on the work you do. If you accept more gigs or more difficult ones, then you earn more. If you perform better on a gig, you earn more. It's simple. Take Wednesday's operation, for example. You would have been paid better than your peers for that, and certainly better than your supervisor. How would that make you feel?
Good, I guess. But, I work for Lord Bedlam.
And? He employs you, but should he own you? Your days could be his, and your nights. Could be mine.
You mean henchcans, right? Your program?
Why, of course, Stanley. That's what we've been talking about this whole time. You're exactly the kind of candidate we need. You'd be just perfect for it. And as it happens, I know of a gig tonight that would be an excellent trial run. You should sign up.
Sorry, but I need a little more information before I could commit to a program like that. I mean, you make a persuasive argument, but...
No further explanation necessary, Stanley. The only right decision is an informed one. What do you think is on all these screens? Information. Data. Without these things, on what grounds can someone make a decision? Intuition? instinct? Why, that's no better than a dog. Though I think you'll find the gig itself to be quite enlightening. Think of it as a scouting mission of sorts.
That makes sense. I'll think about it.
Very well. In the meantime, I suggest you download our Henchman app. You'll find more detailed information there. You'll find a QR code on the bulletin boards in the break rooms or at the entrance of the cafeteria. Tonight's gig should be immediately available to you. Take a few hours to collect some more information and think it over, but not too long. You'd hate to disappoint me.
I'm sure I would.
Oh, no, that wasn't a question. You'd really hate it from the bottom of your heart. I'd make certain of it. Then, dear Stanley, you'd see where I have my other meetings.
You mean the ones where people are in trouble?
Precisely. That is all, number 065. You are dismissed.
Right. Got it. Thanks.